Right, so in the previous session we have seen how to make a connection, and let's see how we can store this sort of data in our MongoDB. So currently we have this data that is stored in locally, and let's say we need this data as test data that is stored in our this database, right? Yeah, so I think I have misspelled this line. Yeah, we need this sort of a database, so I will copy that and remove this previous one. And let's create a new database like this. Okay, yeah, good to go. Now you can see the database post collection is initially empty, but let's say we need to store this data as default data that is available on our database. So in order to do that, basically we can have a separate data manager node application that handles all the test data related activities. So inside this test folder, let's create a new file called data manager, and this data manager will basically handle all the necessary test related activities for us. So yeah, so first thing, basically we have to import these files to our database. So first I need to access this file path. So if you remember, in the post controller we had made an access by using our FS and path libraries. So I will simply copy this stuff and paste it over there. But the directory, now we don't need to go inside test, or we don't go to the backward directories. We can simply point it out to go data and post.js. Then once we made that connection to our post.json file, we can store these files inside our database. So yeah, I think since we are using a separate node application to handle this data, we need to again make a connection separately inside that file. So I will copy these connection lines and paste it over there, and I need these configurations as well, so like this, and I need this colors.env and mongoose modules as well, so I will paste it like that. Right, then there will be a database connection invoked, so we can test it as well. So I will simply name this as database connected for testing, right? Then in order to invoke this data manager file, we have to go inside test folder. Then there we can simply type node data manager.js, right? Yeah, it says that throw new mongoose error. Yeah, it happens because we are concurrently making two connection requests using our MongoDB driver. So it make this panic error exception for us. So therefore let me close this connection. So now our connection is open. Then let's try to connect again. Right, okay, it still says something like that. Yeah, I think it happens because now this configuration file point to config.env, but actually it's rely on outside of this test folder, right? So therefore we have to go backward again. So only put one dot here, so it will go back and will access to this config.env file. Right, so now let's try to connect. Yeah, now it works. You can see database is connected for testing. Right, now we can import this data to our MongoDB database, but first we must have a proper structure, a proper schema defined to our data. Otherwise we will be storing our documents in a very rigid fashion, which is not quite good practice. Therefore, the next video, let's see how to construct such schemas and database models.